everybody. Welcome back to the show. We're so glad that you're here with us on the Power Couple Show. Ooh. You know us, Listen, Larry Morton. As you may have heard in the past episodes, we're working on growing our multi-million-dollar empire.
Yes.
And we wanted to take you along the ride with us and share how it's impacting our relationship and the things that we're doing to really keep the spiciness alive and staying excited about our goals.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we are on this journey together, and it's very helpful to have a partner that supports me and I support him, and we're like partners in the race. We're a lot stronger together.
Yes, big time.
So in this week's episode, we're talking about growing our empire with kids because we've got two little rascals. They're beautiful little girls, but we've got two under 2. Actually, our oldest just turned 2 this month, and it's been a struggle.
Yeah, they are the best little nightmares ever happened to us.
Our daughter that just turned 2, boy, has it been terrible.
Yeah.
They aren't kidding when they say the terrible 2s because, boy, it was like overnight. But on that note, we cannot do anything with them around us, like as far as business goes.
Yeah.
We need babysitters and daycare and help. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you said, we've got our hands in quite a few different businesses, and it requires a lot of time. And even like this now, like you can't record anything with children within a 5-mile radius because they're loud and needy, and
they'll be knocking over the microphone and like sucking on it and like pulling the tripod over, and we're in our daughter's room, so like
yeah, weird, but it's the nicest looking room in our house. That's another story. But you know,
like all of these things, like can't help it with them around us.
Yeah, and we love our kids to death. They're one of the best things that's happened to us. But from a business owner standpoint and a creator standpoint, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really
Yesterday, I had to go pick up flowers for an event this week, and I brought the kids with me on the 1.5-hour drive to go pick them up from my wholesaler, and I ran in, grabbed the flowers, ran back out. They fell asleep on the ride. By the time, we were heading back home, they had both woke up. They were crying the whole way home, and then I still had to process them, which means, I needed to get them in water so that they could hydrate before I design with them, and trying to do this with children is, the worst possible thing because they're ripping the flowers out of the buckets and eating them and throwing them on the floor, and it's, defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's definitely hard to get anything done with them around, especially our 2-year-old. Well, even
the baby at this point is getting to be that way. We were eating lunch yesterday, the 3 of us, me, my oldest daughter, and my youngest daughter, and the youngest was sitting in her little high chair. We've got one of those chairs that can sit on the table, and she has learned to pull herself out of it, reach across the table, grab the slice of pizza that my other daughter was eating, stick it in her mouth, and then choke.
Yeah.
So it's she's figured it out. She's 8 months old, and she can climb out of her high chair now.
Yeah. Which, we don't raise slackers, apparently.
Mm-mm.
8 months old and she's already trying to run. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, that's a whole different podcast, but
yeah.
The way that we're able to get everything done is with our village. We really rely on them.
Yeah.
So we have a regular babysitter that we call to help us, especially when we have events on the weekends. We ask our parents for help, as far in advance as we possibly can. Try to organize it however we can.
Our biggest, helper is daycare.
Yeah.
And that's, it's a double-sided sword for us because they're there 4 days a week.
Yeah, and hopefully 5 soon because I really need that day to get more work done.
Yeah.
But it's a struggle because you feel like a bad mom or a bad parent if they're in daycare, and then you also feel like you're not productive if they're not. So it's just trying to find the balance and make the time that you do have with them quality time and appreciate.
Yeah, every day that they're home and that we're home with them, we try and make count. Spend the day with them and kind of do the small things around the house that have to be done, but not so much work. But it's to the point where it's they need to be in daycare or else we can't pay our bills.
Yeah.
And that's...
Well, and there's even we try to prioritize what we can do without them home and what we can do with them home. So it's stuff like this we try to get done when they're at daycare because we need it quiet. We don't want them knocking everything over. But it's cleaning the house or folding laundry. we can do that with them home, and it might be a little bit more frustrating, but it can get done. Yeah. So it's like trying to prioritize our work.
If you have to design in the studio or editing videos, stuff like that, that's more difficult with them around.
Exactly. So that's pretty much how we get it done. We really can't do it without our help. Yeah. And we ask for help. We take people up on it when they offer. It's like, great, let's get it on the calendar. I know some of you might not have a village, and I encourage you to find one.
Yeah. I know that's much, much easier said than done. But anybody, mom groups on Facebook.
Neighbors, whoever.
Just try and
make friends.
Yeah.
But also, like, you have to give and get, like, if you can hook up with another mom that maybe you can take the kids one day so she can be productive, and they take your kids another day so that you can be productive. I think that that's, like, huge to have that kind of community that you're able to help each other out.
Big time. Yeah, especially because, like, not everyone can afford, like, daycare and to have, like, a full-time babysitter and stuff like that, because it does get expensive. But just, like Liz said, if you can take someone else's kids and
exchange time.
Yeah, exchange back and forth, do it. Because you'll be so much more productive and so much less stressed.
Yeah, that's huge. Sure. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. If you don't mind just sharing, a little screen grab and tagging us both on Instagram, share it with your friends with the biggest takeaway that you guys had. Tag your spouse so they're on board, and make them listen to the show too so that they're on this journey with you, because we know Larry was late to the game, but we're happy that he's here because I can't do it without him. And I think that's it for today. Submit your questions on our website. It's thepowercoupleshow.net, N-E-T. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.